open Thursday through Saturday from 5:30 to 10 p.m. Expand your horizons with a trip to Friend Country Club, just 40 minutes southwest of Lincoln. It's worth a visit. Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
When tacos and quesadillas join forces at Amigos, something seriously delicious happens. Quesadilla tacos. Crispy on the outside, gooey on the inside, folded taco style, and stuffed with bold seasoned flavor. It's like your favorite quesadilla and taco teamed up for the ultimate spring fling. With Tex-Mex, chicken, supreme, or steak, Amigos has a quesadilla taco for everyone. So hurry in. This tasty collab is here for a limited time only. Get the ultimate flavor fusion with quesadilla tacos at Amigos. When the weather heats up, cool down with Amigos' new frosted lemonades and limeades. Icy, fruity, and oh so refreshing. Start with a zesty lemonade or limeade base. Then choose blue raz, cherry, or strawberry to create your personalized flavor mix. Amigos tops it all with a swirl of frosty vanilla ice cream. Whether you're soaking up the sun or just need a cool pick-me-up, these frosty delights are summer in a glass. Chill out with a frosted lemonade at Amigos.
Hey, it's Grant Wister. I co-founded Champ Roofing because I wanted to build a company with real integrity, the kind where you actually trust the people working on your home. We do roof replacements, inspections, gutters, and siding all across Nebraska, Lincoln, Omaha, and everywhere in between. Every job, we show up on time, do the work right, and stand behind it. That's what Champ is built on. Check us out at champ-roofing.com or give us a call at 402-858-7449.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
In communities like ours, local relationships still matter. At Insight Partners, we believe we are better together. That's why insurance agencies across the Midwest have joined Insight Partners to better serve local customers and communities with all their insurance needs. From personal to commercial or specialty insurance, your local Insight Partners team is here to help protect what matters most. Insight Partners, better together. Learn more at myinspartners.com.
Now's the time to lock in the best deal of the year on a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Sprayer Early Order Program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray. Target weeds with precision and cut herbicide use. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Don't forget, secure early order savings and get the sprayer that maximizes every pass. Visit your Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Some people are looking to buy their very first home. Others are looking to build. And some are refinancing to make what they have work a little better. But the one thing they all need? A personal guide through the mortgage process. At Pinnacle Bank, our local lenders work closely with you to find the right kind of loan and the best rates possible. Because every path home deserves someone by your side. Find your lender today with Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can buy a mower just about anywhere, but at Acres, it's more than a mower. It's professionally set up before it leaves the lot. It's 0% for up to 48 months on select John Deere residential mowers. And it's a full-service department standing behind you. From lawn tractors to zero turns, we carry the lineup and support it for the long haul. This spring, make it more than a mower. Make it acres. Offer ends April 30th. Subject approved credit. See dealer for details.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. It is 11 o'clock on a Saturday, so you know what that means. It is the Husker Diamond Report. Nick Whyman holding it down. Tristy Gomez out today, so just me being your tour guide along the diamond for Husker baseball and Husker softball. A lot to get into. Midweek games happened this past week. Nebraska softball picking up a win over Omaha. Baseball dropping one to 16th ranked Kansas. And then baseball suffering a loss to begin the series in Champaign, Illinois to the Fighting Illini, falling down in that one 7-0 early, and then softball just continues to win. I feel like that is a trend we talk about each and every week on the show. But as always, 11 o'clock to noon Central Time, Nick Whyman. Tristan Gomez, usually here, but he is out. Just me holding it down here on the Husker Diamond Report. As always, if you'd love to join the conversation, Husker baseball, Husker softball is in full swing. They're getting a lot of attention with basketball season, wrestling wrapping up, and all of the other sports in the winter sports season. Love to hear you. You can join the conversation as always, you and me, for the next hour here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. If you want to join in the conversation, you can leave a comment on the text line, but also if you leave a comment on our streaming platforms on Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, or if you're watching on Allo Channel 961. Love to hear from you as softball is gearing up here in a couple of hours, under 2 hours now officially. You also have baseball playing a game, trying to get back in the win column after back-to-back losses after a dream weekend against the USC Trojans when me and Tristan previewed that series and what ended up coming to be a sweep of the 12th ranked USC team at that time. So, like I said, if you'd love to join the conversation, we're going to start with softball in this first segment and make our way to baseball for the second segment, and then we'll close out the show on the other side and preview just what's coming up as the season winds down. We're sitting here almost May. The regular season's coming into the home stretch officially. If this is we're on third base heading for home at this point for the softball season. Baseball, we're at second base ready waiting for a line drive to drive us in to postseason play. So if you'd love to join the conversation, sorry, Heyman Jula's text line 402-464-5685. It's getting a little cloudy, but it looks like they're going to be able to play today on Senior Day for Husker softball, as they are ranked number 1 in the Softball America polls. Top 4 consensus across the board. If you look at the rankings, there are multiple different polls, but right now it looks like Nebraska softball more than likely is in the driver's seat to host a regional, unless a complete collapse, which I don't really see that happening, as they are continuing to win games left and right. So today they are taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes in game 3 of a 3-game set after winning a doubleheader yesterday. Not one, but they played 2. Let's play 2. They get the win. Game 1, let's dive into that as well. If you're able to remember, usually games are scheduled Friday, Saturday, Sunday. However, due to expected storms in the area coming up on Sunday, Nebraska and Iowa decided to play 2 yesterday, starting at 3 o'clock for game 1. Game 2 was 30 minutes after the final out of game 1. And then game 3 of the series, the final regular season home game for Nebraska softball. As mentioned, Todd Euler was in here with me before on the Power Hour. He's going to get his lunch. He said he's going to Chick-fil-A, so he has an extra ticket. So if you can find Todd Euler, he has an extra ticket if you'd like to go along. He said he'd love to bring somebody with, or he'll use the other ticket for legroom. With that, this is the last chance in the regular season to catch Nebraska softball. They set a record crowd yesterday, 3,396 fans on a Friday afternoon. We're able to draw that many fans in to watch them play at a high level and beat Iowa twice. So, it's Senior Day. They're honoring the seniors today. Obviously, a lot of local products, a lot of local talent Jordy Fromm, the Camden sisters, Casey Hoffman. You go down the list of names that are going to be honored. This is the final regular season home game for the Cornhuskers softball team. They will be back at home, more than likely for a regional, possibly for a super regional, and then maybe going to Oklahoma City to go represent Nebraska at the Women's College World Series. But the regular season is yet to wind down. So yesterday, Hannah Camden recorded 4 hits and drove in 4 runs in a run rule victory to start the weekend series after beating Omaha earlier in the week. Nebraska winning 9-1 in game 1 yesterday. I mean, look at the Omaha series. Before we move forward into the Iowa, Omaha is a solid mid-major program, and they give Nebraska a little bit of scare. It was 4-4 for a bit, but Nebraska used the long ball. Ava Kuzak hit a home run that one, hit off the scoreboard over in Omaha down by Baxter Arena. They had a scare a little bit there, but Nebraska's had these games where they've fallen behind 2-0 early on and then ended up just outscoring the teams. 4-4 in that one against Omaha, ended up winning 11-4 in a lopsided win. But Nebraska softball handles business yesterday. 2 wins, 9-1 in the first one. Nebraska, as mentioned, fall behind 1-0. But ended up scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the first, 3 runs in the second, and 1 in the third, and then run rule them with a walk-off winner in the sixth, 9-1. You look at the totals in this one, Iowa 1 run on 1 hit and 2 errors. More errors than hits usually is not a good recipe for success when you're playing on the diamond. And then Nebraska softball has 9 runs on 13 hits and no errors to their name in this one. So you look at big picture in this first game. Obviously, Iowa did grab a lead in game 1. Devin Simon led off the game with a double. I led off the game, got a hit, and then obviously Tori Bennett ends up driving in the first run of the ball game to put Iowa up 1-0. Okay, that's the first one. Nebraska comes back, answers right back. 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Hannah Camden singles to the left side, ends up scoring Jordy Fromm, who reaches base. She's reached base in 30-plus games, so she's going to get on base. Pretty good to have her in the top of the lineup. Ava Kuzak singles, and Samantha Bland advances to second on a throw. Hannah Camden scores on a wild pitch, and all of a sudden, 3-1 Nebraska lead. They've been able to jump on teams left and right throughout the entire season, and that is just what Nebraska softball does at home. They don't lose. 38-6 now, 18-1 after this game in Big Ten play. So, yeah, this was just a very dominant win for Nebraska softball to start the series and just grab all the momentum, because Iowa's a team who's hovering around 500. They're hoping to weather the storm to end the regular season, try to get some wins, stack some wins, try to knock off Nebraska, playing some tough teams like, Washington. They've been really good in UCLA, trying to get some momentum down the stretch, but Nebraska said, nah, we're good with that. Nebraska wins that one in, pretty easy fashion in a 9-1 win. Hannah Camden led the offense. As mentioned, she went 4 for 4 with 4 runs batted in. Hannah Core added 2 hits, and Ava Kuzak, Jesse Farrell, and Casey Hoffman each had an RBI to their name as well in that 9-1 win in game 1 of the series. You look at the total lines for, obviously mentioned Iowa opens scoring with an RBI double in the first inning, and then Nebraska comes back with hits upon hits upon hits, ends up leading 3-0. Nebraska extends its lead to 6-1 after Casey Hoffman, Laura Camden, and Hannah Core loaded the bases, and all 3 runs scored on Hannah Camden's base knock. That was 3 of her 4 runs batted in during this contest. So Nebraska jumps out 6-1 in that one. Later on, Samantha Bland walks in the bottom of the 3rd inning, scored on a Casey Hoffman double to stretch the advantage to 7-1. All Nebraska from here on out. Nebraska added 2 more runs in the bottom of the 6th inning off base knocks from Jesse Farrell and Samantha Bland. With the last knock from Samantha Bland, Nebraska locked up a 9-1 advantage, which ends up putting together the 8-run rule to put Nebraska in the driver's seat for the series and win the opening game of 3 against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Hannah Camden, big game. I mean, when everybody's hitting on all cylinders, you look at the box score in total here, have the numbers right up in front of me. I mean, everybody's getting hits across the board. Jordy Fromm got walked, drew a walk early on, ends up scoring. Hannah Core had 2 hits. Hannah Camden, as mentioned, 4 for 4 at the plate. One of her best performances on the offensive side of the ball this season. 4 hits, 4 ribbies. You keep going down the line. Ava Kuzak, Jesse Farrell had a hit. Samantha Bland drives in the game-winning run to win 9-1. Everybody reached base. Laura Camden's in the bottom of the order, top of the order, middle of the order. Nebraska is just finding ways to win games. As mentioned, Iowa did get a run early in 1 hit. From there on out, not much. And that's Jordy Fromm pitching. Jordy Fromm was on it in all 6 innings. Obviously gave up the walk and then the double to score Devin Simon. The two outfielders, Devin Simon reaching on a walk, reaching base, and then obviously Tori Bennett driving in her on a double. Everybody else down the line, Nebraska puts them behind them in front of a record crowd. So in this one, Jordy Fromm, you look at the numbers, jumps off the page, just a normal day at the office for Jordy Fromm. 6 innings in the circle, 1 hit as mentioned, 1 run coming off that double in the first inning, no walks, double-digit strikeouts with 11, faced 21 batters, and now has a 1.35 ERA. That's pretty solid across the board, and she picks up the win. She's now 14-4 on the season. So a dominant win to start the series for the Nebraska softball team. And hey, that wasn't the only game they played. They played another one yesterday too, as well, to cap off the series. Just continuing to win games, this time picking up another win over the Iowa Hawkeyes as Nebraska's going for the sweep today. So before we get into previewing that game today, they still have one more game to recap on the other side. So you look at this, a 5-2 win, a little closer, just a bit closer this time around between Iowa and Nebraska, but Nebraska winning it to win the series. They just don't lose in the Big Ten. They've lost 1 game so far this season in the Big Ten Conference, which is very tough to do. The top half of the conference is really strong. Nebraska winning this one 5-2. Look at the box score again. Iowa limited on offense with 2 runs on 4 hits and an error to their name. Nebraska, 2 errors in the end, but 5 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors as well. Another game where Iowa does score first, but Nebraska strikes back 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and end up holding on in the next 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th innings with no runs across the board between the Hawkeyes and the Huskers. So Nebraska wins this one. Nebraska is now 39-6 on the season, 19-1 in Big Ten Conference play. Iowa now 25-24, 6-14 in the bottom of Big Ten play. Casey Hoffman in this one, 2 for 3, 2 ribbies to her name in the win in Game 2. Hannah Kamzen also added 2 RBIs to continue to build off what she did earlier in the day against the Hawkeyes. Other ones with a hit, you had Elena Felix, you had Jessie Farrell, Hannah Core, Jordy Fromm, and Lauren Kamzen also with hits in the win. Obviously, Jordy Fromm, you had her go in Game 1, so you turn to Alexis Jensen for Game 2. Pretty solid 1-2 combo for Nebraska softball. You have Jordy Fromm through 6 strong innings, only giving up 1 run on 1 hit. Well, and now you flip the page to Alexis Jensen, who does give up 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 runs off the errors. You get a walk, very rare that she walks anybody, and then 8 strikeouts to her name, 1 wild pitch in this one. But it's hard to score when you have 2 very dominant pitchers in Alexis Jensen and Jordy Fromm. So obviously both of them gave up a couple runs, but Alexis Jensen, pretty solid across the board for what she was able to do during that game. Game 2 was under an hour and 53 minutes, a very quick-paced softball game. But Nebraska continues to win games and already locked up series. You look at the first inning, Iowa ends up scoring on a single that goes through the left side to take the lead in this one from Mariah Myers, their first baseman. She had 2 RBIs, which were the 2 runs that Iowa scored in the first inning. After that, Nebraska doesn't let that first inning define them. Hannah Kamzen grounds out that allows Jordy Fromm to score 2-1 at that point in the first inning. After that, Ava Kuzak lines out, but a sacrifice bunt ends up leading to Hannah Core scoring to tie it up at 2-2. And, first inning, 2-2. All right, Iowa, you're not down a bunch of runs already. Alexis Jensen works a quick frame in the top of the second. Then Casey Hoffman, double to left center, scores Felix on this one, and Nebraska takes a 3-2 advantage. And in that same inning, Hannah Kamzen, who continued to swing a hot bat. This time she reaches on a fielding error by the Hawkeyes shortstop, which leads to a runner advancing a third. But also in that, Hoffman, after recording that double, scores to make it 4-2 in favor of Nebraska. And the last run comes in Casey Hoffman's next at bat. In the third inning, she singles to left center field to allow Jessie Farrell to score, as Nebraska softball not only wins 1, but they win 2 against Iowa on Friday. Originally a 1 game for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as mentioned, if you're heading down there to the ballpark right now. Game 3, the final home regular season game for Nebraska softball, starting around 1 o'clock today. Little under 2 hours to go until that happens. A little bit of notes on this one is Nebraska softball obviously honor their seniors. There's a lot of local players who played high school softball with their local high schools. And it's really cool. I know Matt Warner was in here talking with his guest on Business Builders today and said, they went to the game and saw all the players not just leaving the game, they gave back to the young girls, the young softball players who watch them as role models. We see with Nebraska volleyball all the time, but look at Nebraska softball, what the stage they are set at, how big of role models they are, and everything. Every little thing they do is watch, and they took time out of the day for the youth of this town and this state, and they're role models. So you look at a couple notes on these games. Nebraska is now on a 14-game winning streak with the last loss coming to UCLA a couple weekends ago over at Bolin Stadium. And Nebraska has now won 28 of their last 29 ball games. That is a really good. I mean, the last couple losses you can count on your hand. You got the UCLA loss in that 3-game set, and then the extra inning loss in March. Yes, almost a month ago, because we're sitting here on April 25th. Their last loss, 2 of their last losses, one of them doesn't come until an extra inning thriller against Oklahoma State, which felt like a super regional kind of matchup when those teams played. And Oklahoma State, don't let the record fool you. They just beat Oklahoma the last week as well. Jordy Fromm, as mentioned, has now reached base in 33 games in a row. So, regardless of walks, hits, she's able to get on base. And then the biggest thing about Nebraska this year is you have people behind her in the lineup that are able to pick her up and push her around the score. Whether that be Jessica Farrell, Ava Kuzak, Hannah Kamenzen, going down the line. There's people to pick her up. I mentioned Hannah Kamenzen. She has now reached base in 29 games in a row, and she also is on a 14-game hitting streak. One of the hottest bats on the team, continues to produce offensively as well. Been solid in Circle One. Jensen and Fromm are not pitching for the Huskers as well. So you have a very solid team. Nebraska has scored in 23 of its last 31 innings as well. Some of those innings coming yesterday in that 5-2 loss, but able to score right away. I mean, they have given up runs to Rutgers and Iowa and Omaha early on, but they don't let that. They play behind, by a run or two, but they're able to really shift gears and take it to a whole nother level. So they will be playing again. The series finale between Nebraska and Iowa is set for today at 1:00. You can watch that game on BTN Plus, as well as heading down to Bolin Stadium. It's only a couple blocks away from here, just down the road. Todd Euler, as mentioned, is heading down there after the show. He said it should be packed. I mean, they drew 3,396 fans yesterday. This is the final chance to catch them on a Saturday. It's not raining. It's very cloudy. It's overcast, but it's not cold. It's not too hot. It's a perfect day for softball, and should be able to get this game in before it wraps up. To wrap up the series finale between Nebraska and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Nebraska, as mentioned, they are rolling. They are 39-6. They are searching for their 40th win on the season, and then they turn their attention to the final stages of regular season play as they wrap up a lot of road games down the stretch. That's the next thing. You look at what they've done so far at home, barely any losses. Got Iowa here. They have one more game. They have one more series after this to begin the month of May, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next weekend at Penn State, at University Park, Pennsylvania, wrapping up regular season before the Big Ten softball tournament takes center stage in College Park, Maryland, May 6th through the 9th. And then all of a sudden, we're talking postseason play. Mid-May, around May 14th, May 15th is probably the next time you will see Nebraska softball at home after today. So, as mentioned, about 90 minutes, little over 90 minutes until first pitch between Nebraska softball taking on Iowa to wrap up a 3-game set. Nebraska looking for another sweep of a Big Ten conference foe, and especially Iowa, their rival. So, that is all we have for Husker softball. As always, if you'd love to join the conversation, we'll be talking Husker baseball in the next segment. Husker baseball, obviously losing a midweek game to a really red-hot Kansas team, who is having one of the best seasons they've had in recent memory, potentially hosting a regional as well, depending on where their RPI is sitting. Nebraska baseball suffering another loss after a sweep of USC, losing to Kansas, but then losing a game yesterday to a hovering around 500 Illinois team. Pitching wasn't there. You fell behind, chipped away a little bit, but still fell in the end. They're ready to try to potentially even up the series at 1 game apiece this afternoon. We'll talk about it on the other side. Nick Whyman holding it down here for the Husker Diamond Report. As always, we'll talk about the Husker baseball on the other side. We'll be right back after this break.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings this April, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. April's cream cheese flavor is Green Goddess. Pair it with a Cadbury latte, and don't forget their caramel chocolate croissants. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Mike, I've been thinking, our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
The University of Nebraska Rodeo Association excites you to announce the 2026 Nebraska Cornhusker College Rodeo. Come on out to Sandhills Global Event Center May 1st and 2nd. Cheer on the University of Nebraska Rodeo team as they take on teams from all across the Great Plains region. Friday is college night, and Saturday afternoon
Kids attend free with purchase of adult GA ticket at the door. Advanced tickets on sale now at SamuelsGlobalEventCenter.org. Don't miss the Nebraska Cornhusker College Rodeo, May 1st and 2nd.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Husker Diamond Report in full swing here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Just got done wrapping up game 1 and game 2 of a 3-game set against Iowa for Nebraska softball as they win both games yesterday. Hannah Camdenson driving in 4 in game 1, and then Nebraska dominating in the circle. Jordy Fromm pitching 6 strong innings in the circle in game 1. Alexis Jensen getting the win in game 2, only walking 1, striking out 8 to give Nebraska a 5-2 victory over Iowa. Game 3 and final home regular season game for the Cornhuskers, starting in about a half an hour, just down the, or hour and a half, down the road at Bullen Stadium. 90 minutes till first pitch. Todd Euler's heading down there. Should be a fun one. Should be another large crowd, over 3,000 plus yesterday for the Cornhuskers softball program supporting. And now you have a nice Saturday where it looks like the rain is going to hold off until later. That does well for Husker softball. I don't know about Zach Bryan. Obviously, he has a concert tonight. I don't know if the rain's going to hold off, but Husker softball gets in, I'll be happy. I am not going to the Zach Bryan concert. I'll be enjoying my evening, watching the NBA playoffs, watching the end of the NFL draft, and everything else going on in the Sports Stanley Cup playoffs. But we will keep an eye on the radar, as I am not a meteorologist. That is why I'm behind the microphone here, hosting the Husker Diamond Report. As always, 11 to noon Central Time every Saturday. If you'd love to be part of the conversation, Starter Heyman Jewelers text line open 402-464-5685. If you want to, also comment on any of our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And if you're listening on Allo Channel 961 or on the Ticket app, available there, get a hold of us in any of those situations or any of those platforms. And love to have a conversation with you. We're talking Husker softball. Now we're moving the page to Husker baseball. Obviously, last weekend with me and Tristan, who's usually here, Tristan Gomez out today on this Saturday. We talked about Nebraska baseball winning that wild game over the USC Trojans, which then sparked a sweep of USC, which put Nebraska back in the top 25, put them at number 20, and ended up playing a crazy midweek game against Kansas, a rare top 25 game between Nebraska and insert opponent being ranked. There was Georgia Tech, and Georgia played in Atlanta. That was a 3-5, I believe, in a midweek game that night. So I did say earlier in the week, one of the bigger games in midweek. I was right. This was another top 20 matchup. And Kansas, they've been on a roll since that game. They've won 20 of their last 23. They beat Nebraska in front of a large crowd in Lawrence and defeat Nebraska for the second time this season, second time in the midweek portion of this part of the schedule. But, pitching is kind of the biggest thing. Nebraska baseball then, after suffering that one loss, sweeping USC, suffer that midweek loss, flush it, move on, and get to play Illinois, a team that's entered yesterday 20-18, a team that was hovering around 500, under 500 in conference play, needing wins this time of year, especially at home, as they took on Nebraska with the 6 o'clock first pitch yesterday. And Illinois did find that win. Illinois winning 10-5 over the Cornhuskers. Nebraska dropping their record to 31-11 on the season, 15-4 in regular season in conference play, And then Illinois now 21-19 and just one game under 500 in Big Ten play with a record of 9-10 in conference play. Big picture in this one, Nebraska ends up with 5 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error to their name, while Illinois had 10 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Illinois, really one inning kind of did Nebraska in, where they scored 5 in the third, end up taking a big inning, a 6 in the third, They had a 7-run lead after 3 innings, which is, you really put yourself playing from behind the 8 ball in that one. So that is a big one. I see Bill and Bennett here in our Starter Heyman Jewelers. I'm not worried about Nebraska baseball yet. They can still win the Illinois series. They still win today, win tomorrow, and they're right back in the driver's seat. This one, not a great game, to say the least. You're down 7-0 after the third. Push across 1 in the 5th to finally get on the board. Score 3 in the 6th, and all of a sudden, you're within striking distance. We've seen Nebraska baseball play in these games where it looks like the deficit is insurmountable. They've been able to be kind of the cardiac Huskers across the board for some reason. It's not a fun brand to play because you hate to play from behind like that. But Nebraska's been able to do it time and time again. Did it against USC a week ago from yesterday. And this time falling short 10-5. So you score, you're down 7-4, got a little bit of momentum going into the bottom of the sixth inning, but Illinois fights right back and scores 3 more in the sixth to take complete control of that game, making it 10-4. Nebraska scores 1 more in the seventh, but just not enough to make it 10-5 in that one. You look at the scoring, obviously Illinois comes out with a home run in the bottom of the first inning, a couple of singles in the third, fielding error as well. Error came back to bite him, and then right after that error happens, long ball, Will Jonason hits it out, and all of a sudden you're down 7-0. And then you're trying to play catch-up ball. Drew Grego flies out, which scores Will Jeske to finally get you on the board in the fifth inning. Case Sanderson continues to hit well, singles to center. Jeter Worley scores on that base knock, 7-2 at that point. In that same inning, Jet Buck singles, which scores a run as well. Case Anderson scores on that one. And then Joshua Overbeek flies out for sacrifice fly that allows Dylan Carey to touch home plate. 7-4 at this point. And like I said, Nebraska's been in these games where you've been down a couple runs late in the game, and then Nebraska puts together a little bit of run, and all of a sudden Nebraska leads by 1, and they're able to steal some games, whether that be USC, whether that be Maine, whether that be Penn State. They've done it time and time again. Those games I mentioned were at home. On the road, that's another question. There's only about a little over 1,000 fans yesterday there in Illinois for this game, but they rolled to weather the storm there, 7-4. Nick Groves gets a single and a couple other base knocked in an inning. Another fielder's choice in the sixth ends up leading to a 10-4 deficit for Nebraska. Dylan Carey in his last at-bat in the seventh inning singles up the middle to allow Mac Moyer to score, but that was all the scoring Nebraska had for them in this loss. Obviously, a lot of guys had hits in this one. You had 10 hits across the board, but weren't able to push it across. Illinois had the same amount of hits as you, but Illinois was able to take advantage and hit the long ball, benefited off a couple errors as well. I think the pitching is kind of the big thing that Nebraska circles in this one because obviously made the change, taking out Ty Horn from that Friday night role, put him in the bullpen. He did pitch in this one as well. So Cooper Katsky gets the nod to be the starter in this one, suffers his first loss of the year. Not a very sharp outing across the board. He did have 2 strikeouts and a walk in only 2 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, surrendered, 7 runs, but only 2 of them were earned because of errors. So ERA doesn't get bolstered. However, the defense didn't really back him up there in times. Then out of the bullpen, you have Jalen Worthy, Lincoln East project, as well as brother Jeter Worley, as mentioned, on the team as well. He goes 2 2/3 in this one, gives up 1 hit, 2 earned runs, walks 3, but also K's 4 batters in the win in this loss as well. And then Ty Horn, as mentioned, coming out of the bullpen, new role for him. He shuts him down, only gives up 1 earned run in a little under 2 innings pitched, 2 hits. And then back half of the bullpen, nothing really else going for them. But you also look at the other side. Reagan Hall was the starting pitcher for Illinois, who came in with a round of 5 ERA. He goes 7 strong in this one. He gives up 4 earned runs, 9 hits, strikes out 6, only walks 2 batters, kind of limited Nebraska's offense until he kind of got knocked around there late. But then Sam Morner comes out of the bullpen, 2 strong innings, only gives up 1 hit, no runs. So the pitching for Illinois really stifled Nebraska's offense. Nebraska was able to collect 10 hits, but Illinois jumped out to a 7-0 lead. And when you're playing in, especially the Big Ten conference play in general, you can't really fall behind and expect to come back, especially if postseason comes around. Because Nebraska, like I said, 31-11, still a very good team. Baseball, you're not going to win them all. They just cannot put themselves in a position where you're playing behind 5+ runs against a very talented team. So Illinois needed a win. They're hovering around 500, but when you're playing a team come regional time, whether that be a team from the Power 4, whether that be a team like a Northeastern or a team that wins their conference to grab a 4 spot, when postseason play comes around, even the Big Ten tournament, I mean, Nebraska's had some really good crowds in Omaha for Charles Schwab. You just can't be playing from behind, especially when your back's against the wall, maybe facing elimination. I'm not saying Nebraska baseball's on a collapse. Like Bill and Bennett said, not worried. They lost 1 game on a Friday. They did that to Michigan a couple weeks ago, and guess what? They won that series up in Ann Arbor. Reagan Hall had a really good game, 7 innings for the Fighting Illini as Illinois takes game 1 of that series. Like I said, Nebraska rallied with 3 runs in the 6th, Case Sanderson and Jet Buck. an overbig sack fly. Illinois answered immediately in that bottom of the 6th inning with 3 runs on a pair of RBI base knocks and a fielder's choice. Nebraska did add a run in the 7th inning off an RBI hit, RBI single by Dylan Carey. But that was the closest they get in a 10-5 loss. So continue the series today, this afternoon, 3 p.m. first pitch between Nebraska and Illinois in game 2 of a 3-game set. BTN Plus to be able to watch that one. 3 o'clock. So you have softball starting at 1 on BTN Plus against Iowa. Potentially that game goes around 2 hours. You're able to get a full afternoon slate of Husker sports on the diamond. You got, time to play. You can eat lunch right now. Do what Todd Euler's doing. Eat lunch and then head on down to Bullen Stadium. If you're going to the game or if you're staying and watching, you have a full afternoon of Husker athletics at your disposal. 1 o'clock, first pitch for softball. There's that. And then after that, game will get over probably in about a 2-hour window. 3 o'clock, baseball start. You get all that. A lot of sports going on across the area. Look at today's game. Nebraska trying to bounce back against the Fighting Illini and not lose a series in the Big Ten because they've been pretty solid. Like I said, you're coming off one of your best weekends of the season at the plate against USC, scoring 30-plus runs over 3 days. Offense was hitting all cylinders. It was huge for Nebraska. I mean, you look back, 8-7 walk-off win in 10, 12-2 in 7 innings, and then technically walked off every single one of those games because they ruled them in 8 innings, 16-6 last Sunday. So, the last series they lost at Big Ten play was Oregon, and Oregon is a very good Big Ten baseball program. They have been good even since they were in the Pac-12. Outside of that, they swept Penn State at home. They swept Indiana. They won a series on the road against Michigan in Ann Arbor. And then they swept Michigan State as well. So in Big Ten play, they've been very solid away. But Oregon's the last one they lost. They swept USC. So you're hoping to not only weather the storm today, but also win another one tomorrow because the schedule going forward, you got a couple of interesting games down the home stretch of regular season play, which we'll get into later. But if you can win today, people really forget about Friday because you win Saturday and win Sunday. Go back with get some mojo back from that plane ride back to Lincoln because then you have a game on Tuesday, a midweek game, and then you gear up on the road again for a head out to Columbus to take on Ohio State at Nick Swisher Field. So you look at the pitching matchups the rest of the weekend. Today, 3 o'clock, first pitch for that one. Mitch Dye will be going for the Illinois Fighting Illini. He's a right-handed pitcher. He has a 1-0 record, but he has a 5.35 ERA on the season for the Fighting Illini. And then you flip the page to Carson Yassa, who has been the Saturday game 2 of a 3-game set starter for Nebraska throughout the entirety of the 2026 campaign. He's 7-1, and he has a 3.93 ERA. The ERA doesn't really do it justice. He's been knocked around a little bit in the past couple of outings, but his strikeout rate is very high. And when he's pounding the zone, throwing hard, limiting teams, he's one of the toughest pitchers in the Big Ten. So, when you have him, a guy like that at your disposal, he's your number 2. Nebraska will take that. And he's been really good and consistent. The jump Carson Yassa's made from year 1 to year 2, phenomenal. He's a guy when you come into Big Ten. If Nebraska makes a Big Ten championship again, Carson Yassa is probably the guy you want to see with the ball in his hands. Ty Horton's in the bullpen now. Cooper Katsky's kind of finding his groove in that Friday night role. I think Carson Yassa is the most consistent pitcher on the team right now in that rotation. There's a really good back end. Jayshon Unger's been really good. Worley's been really good out of the bullpen. There's some really good bullpen pieces. I think you figure out that Friday night starter role again and get Cooper Katsky back into things, get him situated because he is going against other teams' number 1s. You get that going. I think this team has a really good rotation. So Carson Yassa today, obviously 7-1. All he does is win so far. He's been really solid across the board. You got him going for the Huskers against Mitch Dye, 3 o'clock first pitch. And then you flip the page to tomorrow, 1 o'clock, getaway day against the Fighting Illini. To be determined who the starting pitcher is for Illinois at this moment. They have not announced. Could be a bullpen day. Usually that's what it signs for when there's a to be determined next to the name. So you expect maybe Nebraska can get to their bullpen today, and then Illinois got to scramble for what they have on tap for the final game of the 3-game set. Well, Nebraska, Gavin Blukowicz will be going, the right-handed pitcher. He's 3-1 with a 3.02 ERA. He'll be going tomorrow, and then you move on to the next week. Well, the midweek game against Kansas State, then road game against Ohio State, and then only a couple more home games left. This next week, you'll have Tuesday game against K-State, and then you have one more weekend series before they're out. They are in state technically in May against Creighton, but outside of that, not many more home opportunities, which that's why hosting at regional would be such a big deal for Nebraska baseball. They still have a very good chance You've played some really good teams this week. You lost to Kansas, who are on a roll. As mentioned, they've won 20 of their last 23 after that game on Tuesday down in Lawrence. Very different team than what Nebraska saw when they came into Lincoln about 2.5 weeks ago. So that's the stage set for Nebraska baseball, Nebraska softball. We'll recap that all in itself when we come back, and then we will wrap up the show on the other side and get ready. As always, stick around. We have 2 more hours left after today. Ray Lico, first serve, coming up next. Nebraska tennis player will be up at the top of the hour. And then Ticket Weekends with myself. We will recap everything else going around the sports world. It is a loaded time as well. Nebraska baseball gearing up for Game 2 of 3 against Illinois. That 3 o'clock first pitch on that one. Husker softball starting in a little under 90 minutes just down the road. 75 minutes to be exact, down at Bolin Stadium. We'll preview both those games for today and set the stage for the midweek games, and then what is on tap for next weekend as softball regular season comes to a close, the final week of the regular season next weekend at this time, and then baseball gears up for another Big Ten Conference road trip next weekend as they head up to Columbus to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll preview it all on the other side. Nick Whyman holding it down here. Husker Diamond Report, as always, 11 to noon Central on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. We'll be right back.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Spring is the time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Wow, I have never seen you work out this much.
Gotta get in shape. New game. Must play.
New game?
Yeah.
Nebraska Lottery's new game, Millionaire for Life. $1,000,000 a year for life.
Wow, that's incredible. I better get in shape too. Can I borrow those 5-pound weights when you're done?
Yeah, sure.
Play Millionaire for Life. Just $5 and drawings every day. Top prize odds 1 in 22 million.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Dio Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Dio Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diotech online at diotech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a great spring it has been here. We've had record sales happening at Koppel. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is giving out employee pricing on select new models. Yes, you heard that right. Employee pricing is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. So please stop on in the store and see the team or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Some rebates to dealer.
This is Jordy Ball for Anderson Ford. For years, Anderson has relied on an exceptional customer experience. But just this once, they're going to rely on a really great pitch.
Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $197 per month for 36 months.
Experience better at Anderson Ford.
Stock number 1008753, $199 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, $10,252 at signing, no security deposit required, tax, title, and license fees extra, residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 4/30/26.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and guys, this is your reminder to take your health seriously. If you've noticed tremors, stiffness, or slower movement, don't ignore it. Parkinson's disease affects men more often, and early detection can make all the difference. This spring, take control. Get answers, take action. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they're helping you spring back into health with advanced technology and compassionate care. Because your health isn't something to put off. Advanced Medical Imaging. Your diagnosis, their priority.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Husker Diamond Report, 94.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. As always, Nick Whyman holding it down. Tristan Gomez out this week. He'll be back next week, I promise. But Nick Whyman holding it down here from 11 to noon Central Time. You can join me and Tristan Gomez, as always, at this hour to talk everything Husker baseball and Nebraska softball as their seasons continue to kick into high gear as regular season play is almost over. I mean, look at the big picture so far. Nebraska softball has always put themselves in a very good position going forward to host a regional, potentially winning that regional, and then hosting a super regional in a best 2 out of 3 series down the road at Bullen Stadium, and then potentially winning those 2 games of those 3 and making the trip to the Women's College World Series for the first time in a long time for Nebraska softball. Nebraska baseball in the top 25 consensusly. They're 31-11. Obviously have took their lumps, losing to Kansas in the midweek and then losing to Illinois last night against the Fighting Illini in a 10-5 ball game. But potentially you win today against Illinois, you win tomorrow, you're back in the driver's seat. You end up 33-11 going into the next week of games. I mean, you look real quick, Nebraska softball before we get out of here. Nebraska softball playing in just over an hour down the road at Bullen Stadium. Final home game of the regular season. I'm assuming tickets are going to be very hard to get. 3,300 plus people there yesterday. And then you have that obviously being the final game against a rival in Iowa. Then you move forward with that. You obviously have Jordy Fromm and them playing their potential last regular season games for Nebraska out there. And then that's at 1 o'clock. Nebraska baseball at 3 o'clock. As mentioned, Carson Yass will be pitching for the Huskers. That one, he's 7-1 with a 3.93 ERA. Right-handed pitcher for Illinois, Mitch Dye, going for them. He's 1-0 with a 5.35 ERA. And then after that one, you flip the script to the getaway day, 1 o'clock. Gavin Bluckowitz scheduled to go for the Huskers now. He's 3-1 with a 3.02 ERA. So if you obviously lose the Friday night game, Nebraska has a chance to weather the storm, win the next two, and potentially win another Big Ten series before the season kind of goes down the home stretch. Cap off the month of April with a home game next Tuesday playing the Kansas State Wildcats, a former Big 12 foe. 6 o'clock first pitch at Hawks Field at Haymarket Park in that one. The fourth to last home game for Nebraska baseball this season. And then after that, you go on the road May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes at Nick Swisher Field in Columbus, Ohio. 5 o'clock first pitch next Friday in that one between Nebraska and Ohio State. Saturday's game at 6 o'clock, and then the getaway day next Sunday at 1 before Nebraska baseball has their final home game series of regular season play, playing at 6 o'clock next week on Friday, May 8th, and then May 9th and May 10th against the Iowa Hawkeyes, which is very ironic. Nebraska baseball and Nebraska softball's final home regular season series are against Iowa, of all teams. But Nebraska softball, as mentioned, they are down the home stretch. This is their final home game of regular season play, potentially hosting a regional and a super regional as well. Play that game at 1 o'clock coming up. After that, no midweek game for Nebraska softball this week. They play next weekend, May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd against Penn State. 4 o'clock first pitch next Friday up at University Park against Nittany Lions. Saturday's game scheduled for 1 o'clock, and then Sunday, the final regular season game for Nebraska softball at noon. And then postseason play is upon us. May 6th, next Wednesday at College Park, Maryland. Nebraska softball postseason play is here. They will be playing in the Big Ten tournament, potentially winning a regular season title, still up for grabs with a couple of games left under their belt. And then regionals are here. We're in the full swing for postseason play. So should be interesting to say the least as those seasons wind down softball. I mean, it's crazy. We started the show back in February, and the season has flown by. I feel like the other day we were just previewing the Mary Nutter Classic in California or the Shriners Tournament in Florida, and now the season's already kind of winding down. And, you know, before we know it, the Women's College World Series, Big Ten Tournament in Omaha, we go down potentially a regional for baseball here, super regional for softball, Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City, and then before we know it, the College World Series in Omaha will be here before we know it. So that is all the time we have for today. Tristan Gomez will be back next week here with me, 11 to noon, as always, on the Husker Diamond Report. Every week, Husker baseball, Husker softball, very good stuff. We got 2 more shows left today. We got, obviously, I'll be here from 1 to noon, or 1 to 2, excuse me. I cannot talk today, filling everything that's going on in the sports world. But coming up next, First Serve Live, Ray Lee Coe, Nebraska tennis player, recapping the rest of their season and everything going forward. We're going to take a break, and you'll catch Ray Lee Coe live, First Serve Live, coming up on the other side.